one of my most anticipated first-person shooters is releasing on the 22nd of June, and it is a next-gen 4-player co-op shooter. This is 6 Days in Fallujah, and if you like co-op shooters, you should be excited for this one. This is a highly realistic tactical shooter set during the second Battle of Fallujah, and originally the game was announced like over 10 years ago, but then got cancelled, and the game was conceived by a Marine who was badly wounded during the second Battle of Fallujah. And during the development of this game, they've had help from more than 100 Marines and soldiers, so they can try and get the game to like feel and look as authentic as possible. They've even interviewed Iraqi civilians that were present during the battle to help with its authenticity. Even a portion of the proceeds from the game are going to be donated to organisations supporting coalition service members, as well as Iraqi civilians who have been affected by the war on terror. So why is this game hopefully going to be really good? So one of the big unique selling points of the game is the city of Fallujah itself, because every time you play a mission, it's going to be different. The layout of the mission's going to change, the buildings are going to change, and the insides of the buildings are going to change. Like, for example, you could see one building which, could be the same that you saw in a different mission, but the interior could be different because they've created like multiple interiors for the same buildings. But then also enemy positions within the buildings are going to be different, so you never know what to expect when you open the next door. Let's compare this with Ready or Not, which is a fantastic co-op shooter. The map is always the same. You're going to memorize it, and you're going to pretty much know where the enemies are going to be because you're going to keep playing the same maps over and over. But you can't do that with 6 Days in Fallujah. Every mission is going to feel, well, hopefully going to feel really unique. But to support this, the AI needs to be up to scratch, and the plan is for the AI to be able to pretty much move absolutely anywhere during each mission. They're going to stalk you, they're going to flank you, ambush you, coordinate attacks against you, lure you into traps, and much more. You're not just going to come up against AI that will just sit in a room and wait for you to, approach them. This is hopefully going to make the AI feel like a really big threat, where you're not just on the offense, moving forward and clearing room after room and trying to get through to the end of the mission and complete whatever your objective is. You're going to feel like you're hunted. If the game can get that feeling across, then that will be so, hopefully, awesome and like a really big, unique thing instead of just being a room clearing game. Another big thing with the game is audio design. So the devs have created a unique parameter which they can pretty much encode in their audio engine called enclosedness. And what this does is basically constantly tracks the closest surfaces around the player in every single direction, and it will combine the results into a single value. But then with this enclosedness parameter, they can reduce sounds of distant combat as you creep through a tight valley, calm the wind as you duck into a corner, or make cramped rooms sound more claustrophobic than spacious ones. And this feeds into the procedural nature of the game. Since each room can have various different layouts with different objects, openings like doors and windows, this all feeds into the audio to make it sound very different. And this game does sound very unique. Have a listen.
Pushing inside the house, going left.
Contact left. Come on, left with you. Down.
Clear, right?
Clear left.
In the hallway. Great. Front middle is clear.
Left side is clear.
Lock, peek around that corner, see what you see.
Got a couple windows, watch above you. Have a door here, locked. Remove it.
Alright, stack on the right side of the door. Let's breach this open.
Hold your fire!
Do it, Jay.
Breaching.
watching back hallway.
Contact to the right, heavy contact.
Pushing forward.
Balcony, head first floor. Hey, I gotta check.
Contact down.
Over to you, Jay.
Vaulting over. Vaulting over. Contact.
I can't think of a game that sounds like that as you go through room after room. Even something like Ready or Not doesn't sound like that. It's going to be such a unique sounding game. It may be too much for people because the game is going to be loud. When you're in the middle of combat, like a lot of games, they sort of make certain sounds have like a max volume so you can hear other stuff around you. Like gunfire, if gunfire is too loud, you may not be able to hear your teammates chatting to you. But in 6 Days in Fallujah, gunshots are going to be really loud. So when you're in those tight and close situations, engaged with the enemy, and your teammates are trying to give you call outs of what's going on, you may not be able to hear them because it's going to sound loud. And pretty much since Marines and soldiers have helped to develop this game, I'm guessing pretty much that's how chaotic CQC combat can be in these types of buildings. It's going to be like such an atmospheric and immersive game. Well, hopefully, anyway. So, like I said earlier, the game is going to release on Steam on the 22nd of June, but it is going to launch in early access, which I am a little bit disappointed in. For console players, it is going to come to consoles, but they're going to do that once the game leaves early access on Steam, and then it would be a fully released product everywhere. So what are we getting on early access release? Well, we're getting 4 missions that are 4-player co-op. They are set in the procedural city. So simply because of that procedural nature of the game, there's going to be, or hopefully going to be, a lot of replayability to these missions. While these missions will have a set objective, it's going to be everything you do to get to that objective, which is going to be different. And what's going to come later? Well, they are going to officially show their roadmap later on, but they have said that we're going to get AI controlled teammates, more co-op missions, special operator missions, more troop nationalities. So I don't know if that means that you're going to be able to almost like create a soldier maybe. There's going to be a single player campaign, nighttime missions, weather effects, more buildings, more enemy types, civilians, and more. They've even said that in one of the missions, I'm not sure if it's going to be one of the missions that we get on early access release, but you will control an Iraqi civilian. Not engaging the coalition troops, but trying to like survive or exit the city. I don't know what that gameplay is going to be like, but hopefully it's going to be pretty unique. So I will be covering this game when it releases. I will get a review out and get my impressions out. I will get a bunch of gameplay videos out because I think this is going to be a pretty big and unique game. Hopefully I can get a bunch of co-op mission run-throughs with viewers on the channel if I do some streams, or get some run-throughs with other people I play Hell Let Loose with, like Mono and Raz. I can guess if Husk gets this game, he's going to have an absolute blast role-playing his way through each mission. I'm really hoping this game is going to be something really special. So if you want to see some 6 Days in Fallujah gameplay and like a review or impressions video when it releases, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out. If you're interested in other first-person shooters that are coming out soon, then check out this video here where I go through Burning Lands, an upcoming large-scale, realistic or tactical shooter. Give this video a like if you liked it, subscribe for more, and thank you for watching.